member dropped Nancy Guthrie off at her home in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood of Tucson, Arizona. The garage door opened. She went inside. The garage door closed. That was the last confirmed moment anyone saw her. What happened next, inside that house, over the next several hours, has never been fully explained. Not publicly. Not by law enforcement. Not by anyone. But investigators have confirmed 3 digital timestamps that define the entire case. And each one, by itself, is not enough. Together, they form a chain. And that chain ends 200 miles from Tucson, in a direction the FBI has refused to discuss. This is what the evidence actually shows. Nancy Guthrie was 84 years old. She lived alone in the Catalina Foothills, a quiet, affluent neighborhood north of Tucson where unfamiliar vehicles and unknown faces are noticed. She relied on a walker for mobility. She depended on daily heart medication. And her pacemaker, a medical device implanted in her chest, was linked to an app on her iPhone. Connection matters. Pacemakers paired with smartphones don't simply stop communicating. They maintain a constant Bluetooth link as long as the phone is within range. When that connection breaks, it means one of 2 things. Either the phone moved out of range of the body, or something happened to the person wearing it. Law enforcement confirmed the exact moment the connection ended. They have never said publicly which explanation they believe. That night, Nancy had spent the evening at the Tucson home of her oldest daughter, Annie Guthrie. Dinner. Family. A normal evening. Tommaso Cioni, Annie's husband and Nancy's son-in-law, drove Nancy home that night. He waited until she was safely inside. He watched the garage door close. Then he left. Authorities have since cleared the entire Guthrie family from suspicion. Tommaso Cioni has been publicly cleared. This is confirmed. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said it directly. After that point, the house went quiet. What investigators found when they arrived the following morning, after Nancy failed to show up for church on February 1st, changed everything. Blood. Dried on the front porch. DNA testing confirmed it was hers. No forced entry. No broken locks. No shattered glass. The home appeared, from the outside, undisturbed. But Nancy Guthrie was gone. Every aspect of this investigation flows from 3 confirmed digital events. They are not theories. They are not speculation. Law enforcement confirmed each one publicly. Timestamp 1, 1:47 a.m., doorbell camera offline. Nancy Guthrie's home was equipped with a Google Nest doorbell camera, high-definition, night vision, with continuous recording tied to cloud storage. At 1:47 a.m. on February 1st, that camera went offline. Not a power outage. Not a malfunction. The camera had been tampered with. FBI Director Kash Patel later said the footage was recovered from residual data located in back-end systems of the camera, 9 days after investigators originally believed it was permanently lost. When the footage was finally released publicly on February 10th, it showed a single figure approaching Nancy Guthrie's front door. Male. Approximately 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 10 inches tall. Average build, the FBI's own description. Dark clothing. Gloves. A ski mask. And on his hip, a holstered firearm. He was carrying a black, 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker Pack backpack. Ozark Trail is a private label brand sold exclusively at Walmart. That backpack became one of the FBI's primary public leads. NBC national law enforcement correspondent Tom Winter explained on Today that if the backpack was purchased new, authorities could subpoena Walmart for buyer records in the greater Tucson area, including cash transactions captured on store surveillance. When the suspect noticed the camera, he did not disable it with any professional tool. He grabbed a nearby shrub from the front yard and used it to block the lens. That detail, the shrub, was noticed by investigators immediately. Former FBI profiler Jim Clemente later said publicly that the suspect made a number of mistakes that could help identify him if someone in his inner circle comes forward. But the camera was already down by 1:47 a.m. Timestamp 2:28 a.m. Pacemaker disconnects. 41 minutes after the doorbell camera went offline, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnected from her iPhone. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos confirmed this timestamp. CBS News confirmed this timestamp. Every major outlet covering this case confirmed this timestamp. A pacemaker linked to a smartphone maintains a continuous Bluetooth connection, transmitting heart data, device status, alerts. A disconnect at 2:28 a.m. means the phone and the pacemaker separated. Either the phone moved out of Bluetooth range while Nancy remained in one place, or something happened to Nancy herself between 1:47 a.m. and 2:28 a.m. Law enforcement confirmed the timestamp. Law enforcement has never said which explanation they believe. That silence is itself significant. Morgan Wright, CEO and founder of the National Center for Open and Unsolved Cases, told KOLD, "The pacemaker is the most unbiased witness we have. Why? Because it's sending telemetry data." The FBI later deployed what is known as a signal sniffer, a Bluetooth detection device mounted on a helicopter, flying low and slow over the Tucson area in an attempt to detect the unique MAC address of Nancy's specific pacemaker. CBS News confirmed law enforcement sources described the device as sophisticated FBI technology. Former FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell told NewsNation, "I do know that the pacemaker sends off a very short distance alert, so they're going to have to get really close." Former FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer publicly described the signal sniffer as a great tool, but called it a Hail Mary given the distance the pacemaker might have traveled. That word, distance, leads to the third timestamp. Timestamp 3, before 6 a.m., phone signal, 200 miles away. Sometime between 2:28 a.m. and approximately 6 a.m., Nancy Guthrie's phone signal was detected approximately 200 miles from her Tucson home. Nancy Guthrie was 84 years old. She used a walker to move through her own house. There is no scenario, none, in which she traveled 200 miles on her own in under 4 hours. Whoever was moving that phone was already far outside Tucson before sunrise. Former law enforcement analysts publicly stated the distance required planning. A vehicle had to be ready. A route had already been chosen. Someone knew exactly where they were going before Nancy Guthrie walked into that garage. From Tucson, 200 miles in any direction carries serious implications. South puts someone deep into Sonora, Mexico, through Nogales, one of the most heavily trafficked border crossings in the United States. North leads toward Phoenix. West moves toward Yuma and the California border. East pushes into New Mexico. Every direction raises a different question about motive, destination, and preparation. The FBI reacted to the phone signal immediately. According to public reporting, federal agents quietly mobilized resources to locations investigators have never publicly identified. And despite the urgency of that response, authorities have refused to reveal, publicly, on the record, where the signal ultimately led, what was found, or whether they believe Nancy was physically present with the phone at that point. That silence, 101 days later, is not an accident. On February 11th, investigators found a black glove in roadside brush approximately 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. FBI spokesperson's statement to USA Today, "The one with the DNA profile recovered is different and appears to match the gloves of the subject in the surveillance video." The glove was sent to a private forensic laboratory in Florida. On February 15th, an FBI official confirmed to Fox News Digital that DNA testing was still in quality control. On February 17th, the Pima County Sheriff's Department posted on X, "There were no DNA hits in Cody's." At this point, there have been no confirmed Cody's matches in this investigation. The glove DNA also did not match any DNA recovered from inside Nancy Guthrie's home. Then came